What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today, we've got a slew of announcements in addition to some unfortunate news, maybe, about the Super Nintendo Classic being canceled as far as pre-orders for some people at Walmart. But let's go ahead and get right into the news here. So, Aqua Moto Racing Utopia and Snow Moto Racing Freedom are coming to Nintendo Switch this November. Zordix and Big Ben are partnering on a pair of titles for the Nintendo Switch. Aqua Moto Racing Utopia and Snow Moto Racing Freedom will be on the system this November. The two companies have announced. Aqua Moto Racing Utopia was originally announced for the Wii U back in the day. I remember covering this game quite a bit. It was quite the looker for the Wii U, but I don't know if it ever even really got released for the system. And yeah, it was still in development, but I guess it's pretty much canceled at this point. So we'll see about that, but it's coming to Nintendo Switch, right? So that's coming. In addition to Aqua Moto Racing Utopia, there will be Snow Moto Racing Freedom that will feature content identical to the already released PlayStation 4 and PC versions and will take full advantage of the Switch's multiplayer features. You'll be able to play with up to 3 friends in local split-screen multiplayer and with up to 7 players locally with everyone using their own console. Online play will also be supported. So Zordix, I know for quite some time we're talking about Aqua Moto Racing Utopia for the Wii U, and things just never happened with that version on there. I'm guessing the Nintendo Switch is a lot easier for them to port over, so they're like, hey, we can just put this baby on the Nintendo Switch and have a much easier time. And obviously what we're seeing with Nintendo Switch games over, at least with the Wii U, is that the limited amount of third-party games that have came out at this point are having far better results compared to the Wii U, just based on what has happened. For example, like Super Bomberman R already sold over 500,000 copies, or at least shipped out to retailers there, which is really good for that type of title. And we're seeing other indie developers sell quite a number of copies too. So we still need to wait and see on some of the bigger games like Skyrim and FIFA and all that. But I'm pretty sure that most people are going to want a Nintendo Switch version of these games, or of these Wii U ports or PS4 and PC, because you can play the game anywhere you want, especially if it's a smaller or indie title. So that's actually really cool that they're bringing both of these games. It's been a long time coming for Nintendo fans. Obviously, I've been wanting to play this game for a while. I've been set up on the PR to get a review copy for the Wii U for the longest time. So it looks like I'll be switching that over to the Nintendo Switch version of the game. So they're bringing both of those, Aqua Moto Racing Utopia and Snow Moto Racing Freedom, to the Nintendo Switch in November. Online play, local multiplayer, split screen as well. So what more can you ask for in terms of racing fans go? Got some pretty good racing titles already on the Nintendo Switch, and there's even more coming out. There was like some Monster Jam game or something that was announced as well. There's starting to be a lot of smaller, mid-sized games being announced, and like I said, going forward, as the Switch's success, you're going to see more developers port games over, more developers have projects to announce, and this is not the end of it, guys. There will be bigger and more smaller titles being announced for the Nintendo Switch throughout 2017. Alright, and speaking of ports to the Nintendo Switch, Superbeat Xonic is coming to the Nintendo Switch. The NewZ rhythm game comes to the Switch this October. Superbeat Xonic is coming to Nintendo Switch. Developers PM Studios and NewZ announced it will launch both physically and digitally on October 3rd in North America for $39.99 and $54.99 CAD. The rhythm game was first released on the PS Vita in November 2015, followed by the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions in June 2017. Here's an overview of the Nintendo Switch version of the game via PM Studios. A new Nintendo Switch edition of Superbeat Xonic, previously released for the PlayStation 4 and PS Vita, the team at PM Studios has perfectly ported the acclaimed music rhythm game over and optimized the controls and touch features for an even smoother gaming experience on the home console. Players will be able to listen to over 50 music tracks and boogie through 200 different play street date patterns. Here are the key features of the game. Rhythm on the Nintendo Switch. PM Studios will bring you back to the beat once again with a high-speed, intuitive system and touch controls found only in Superbeat Xonic. Modes that fit you. Depending on your skill level, you can choose between 4 tracks, beginner, 6 tracks, and 6 tracks FX. Master, the handy tutorial mode, will always be available as well. Massive play patterns. Are you ready to groove to the fantastic music selection and master the monster patterns thrown at you? Get your skills up with freestyle for endless gameplay. Real-time DJ ranking. Check your rankings in real time in both local and worldwide rankings. Ride your way to the top of the charts and become the best DJ. So I will have to say something about this game, guys. I actually checked it out as far as researching the story and seeing what this game is about, and a lot of people really like this game, especially when it launched on the PS Vita. It was one of those cult hits. A lot of people were saying, not similar to, like, what's it called, the Timberland game or the Beta Raider or whatever that was on PSP, how it had like this hardcore niche following. This game kind of has that too, to where the developers originally released it on the PS Vita, actually did well enough, and they released the game on the PS4 and Xbox One. Apparently the PS4 and Xbox One versions did pretty good, or probably just the PS4 version, to be honest, and now they're bringing the game out on the Nintendo Switch, where it could potentially have the best audience for it, because it's more closely to the PS Vita of having the touch controls, which the Xbox One and PS4 versions don't have. And the original vision of the game was touch controls and button controls too, if you want to use those controls as well. So you're going to get the console version when it comes to having button controls if you want to use those, but you're also going to get the PS Vita version as well as far as the touch goes. And these type of games are awesome to play, like on the go, when you have a little bit of time, you're waiting in line for something. I absolutely love, like, the Beta Raider game on the PSP. That was one of my favorite games out there, and I do love playing games as far as music rhythm games, even just like with button controls. For example, like Guitar Hero, everyone would play that game with the guitar and all that, and sometimes I would just play with the Xbox 360 controller, no joke. The tracks are nice, it sounds good. All the versions of the game have gotten pretty good user scores as far as what people think about it and the fan feedback, and they say that they perfectly perfected everything when it comes to the port of the game. A lot of different tracks to go over, different master modes and different stuff that you can do in there as far as difficulty level. So I'm looking forward to this one. $39.99 might be a little bit pricey for some, but I do think there will probably be price drops. There might be other things, so you don't have to get it at launch. You can always get it later down the line. And once again, another Nintendo Switch game being announced as far as titles go. Not necessarily the biggest one out there, but still definitely a PS4 and Xbox One version port of that coming over to Nintendo Switch. So definitely the more games, the better. And especially these type of games that have this niche or cult following that are actually really good. A lot of people really like this game. So let me know what you guys think about Superbeat Xonic coming to the Nintendo Switch this October. I think this one's going to go over pretty well with Nintendo Switch fans. Alright, and getting into the last article here, Walmart has apparently canceled a number of Super Nintendo Classic Mini Entertainment System, whatever you want to call it, Classic Edition pre-orders. Now, I got my pre-order in, and this had me thinking, because mine was not canceled, and I've reached out to many other people via DMs, via other places, and they said, no, mine wasn't canceled either. So what's going on with this? Why did people get canceled? Well, I'm trying to think, and there's a couple reasons why people cancel. Is this fair or is it foul when it comes to the cancellation of pre-orders? Sometimes they overbook, right? There'll be companies that they get a certain allotment, they think that this is how much we're going to get, and then they say, yeah, pre-orders, they want to get that guaranteed money, then all of a sudden, oops, we're not going to get 150 of them, we're only going to get 100 of them. Then all of a sudden, that's when the people who ordered at the latest possible time get theirs canceled. However, there are also times when people try to do devious things, when people try to use false payment methods, when people try to swindle and scandal the people that are taking these pre-orders to where that can be canceled. Not saying that this happened in this situation, but still that happens. And then there's the people who ordered multiple units out there, which Walmart shouldn't be letting people do anyway, but you can't track, I guess, how many different credit cards they use, or if it's a debit card and maybe a PayPal, or maybe it's something else. Whatever the case is, you can't always necessarily track that, but you can track IP, but I'm guessing it's not going that far. But anyway, so there's always that, and people who potentially ordered multiple units and got theirs canceled. Now, I have spoke to one person, which I won't reveal who did get multiple, as far as pre-orders go, canceled from Walmart. Now, they pre-ordered 3 of them, okay, and they got 2 of them canceled and 1 of them not. So I'm thinking that Walmart did cancel people who they suspected of or potentially had multiple pre-orders on there on the same IP, or multiple pre-orders for the same person using that same card. That's what I'm thinking, in order to potentially have some more stock later down the line, or open back up pre-orders so people who didn't get a chance to pre-order it did pre-order it. Because I think when the pre-orders went live, it was 12 a.m. like midnight. It was 12 a.m. midnight on the East Coast. And yeah, so a lot of people were asleep. If you're on the West Coast, probably weren't. Or maybe you're getting ready, because right after I streamed, it was right there like at 9 o'clock. People were saying pre-order it, and it was up all the way for like at least 30 to 40 minutes. It was up for you to get those pre-orders. So I'm thinking that Walmart definitely got some people who were double booking, triple booking, you know, and all that, and they canceled some of those. But some of them might be fair. Some of them might have been just normal pre-orders being canceled. So it kind of sucks if you were one of those people, but there's no way to actually know. I looked at the source article here, and it just shows people saying, hey, mine was canceled. It didn't say how many they ordered or anything like that. So you'll never know with these type of things. But from what I've seen and the information that I've gathered on this, because this article is a little bit older, it was earlier this morning, a lot of people are saying, hey, mine was still there, mine was still there, you know, mine was still there, more than people saying, oh yeah, I got mine canceled. So it's always one of those things to toss up. You never know what really happens, what's going down, you know, why they're canceling some of those. But we'll see how much people actually have. And the fact that we're able to even pre-order in the first place was pretty cool. I was able to pre-order it twice. Once in the European UK store, I was able to pre-order one. Then also, now at this point, I was able to pre-order it from Walmart without really any issues at all. And a lot of people I know were also able to pre-order it as well. So at least we got that option this time, whereas the NES Classic, we weren't even given the option at all. And it was almost impossible to find in stores unless you went out there and really made sure that you camped out and see if you can get one. So to me, this one's much better though. The Super Nintendo Classic is just so much better. It's just so much better because it has an unreleased game on there, and it has RPGs on there. So this is far more appealing, and that's why the price bumped. I think, what was it, 60 bucks? Now this one is $79.99. So yeah, I can understand the price bump. I can understand people really scrambling to get this one, because this is a far better package in my opinion. Just better games in general, games that play better overall. I don't really think that there's anything on the Nintendo Classic that's really better than the Super Nintendo Classic. Like, if you look at the games and compare them, like Zelda, Link to the Past, you've got Mario Kart, you've got F-Zero, you've got Super Mario World, you got Donkey Kong Country. These are some of probably the top 50 games of all time on the NES. What do you have on there compared to it? They all move a lot more stiff. They're just not as fun to play. I mean, yes, they're fun. They're obviously great games on the NES, but the Super Nintendo Classic is much better, and it just plays a lot better in today's standards as well. It's still good to play these games. So yeah, I think a lot more people are going to be hyped about this one. So hopefully we get some more pre-orders though. That would be great if Amazon and Walmart and everyone kind of jumped in with these pre-orders. We're still waiting on Best Buy. We're still waiting on a couple other places, so we'll see how that works out. And if you were able to get a Super Nintendo Classic, let me know in the comment section below. Or if you got yours canceled, let me know. And did you order multiple units and they canceled all of them, or did they just cancel one? Also, let me know about that in the comment section below if that happened to you. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. It really helps to spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page, pledge any tier. Be entered to win some awesome prizes each month. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat for our live streams and $10 prize eShop tokens from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon, ARMS, and more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in for the next video. Peace.